Imagine this. You sit down to study or work on an important task. You tell yourself, just a few minutes on my phone, then I'll start. But suddenly, those few minutes turn into an hour, maybe even 2. Your mind jumps from one app to another. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, endless scrolling, endless dopamine hits. And before you know it, the time is gone, your energy drained, and your focus shattered. Sounds familiar? You're not alone. This is the modern-day dopamine trap, an invisible force that's hijacking your brain, killing your focus, and making deep work feel impossible. But how did we get here? Years ago, life was different. Our ancestors had to work hard for their rewards, hunting for food, building shelter, solving real problems. Their dopamine system was designed to keep them motivated for survival. But today, the game has changed. We don't have to chase rewards anymore. They're served to us on a silver platter. Notifications, social media, fast entertainment. It's all designed to keep us hooked. Every like, every comment, every new video sends a tiny dopamine rush to your brain, tricking you into thinking you're achieving something when, in reality, you're stuck in a loop of endless stimulation. The worst part, this constant dopamine overdose is ruining your ability to focus. Think about it. When was the last time you read a book for an hour without feeling the urge to check your phone? When was the last time you worked on something deeply without distractions? If your brain is always chasing the next quick hit, how can it ever stay focused on one thing for long? This is the dark side of dopamine. It was meant to help us survive, but in today's world, it's doing the opposite. It's keeping us weak, distracted, and addicted. But here's the scariest part. This isn't happening by accident. Tech companies, social media platforms, even game developers. Every single one of them is using psychology to keep you addicted. Have you ever noticed that infinite scrolling never stops? That Netflix plays the next episode automatically? That YouTube suggests videos perfectly tailored to your interests? These aren't coincidences. These are carefully designed dopamine traps meant to steal your focus and keep you coming back for more. And the more you indulge, the harder it becomes to break free. But don't worry, this isn't a lost battle. If dopamine can be used against you, it can also be used for you. The key is understanding how this system works and learning how to take control before it's too late. In the next part of this video, we'll dive deep into how dopamine addiction is rewiring your brain, why your focus is getting worse, and most importantly, how you can escape this trap before it completely destroys your ability to think deeply. Because if you don't take control now, someone else will. Stay with me. You don't want to miss this. Think about the last time you sat down to do something important. Maybe studying for an exam, working on a project, or even just reading a book. At first you felt motivated, but within minutes, your mind started to wander. Your hand reached for your phone almost instinctively. Maybe you checked a notification, watched a short video, scrolled through social media, and before you knew it, an hour had disappeared. Now here's the question. Was that your choice, or was something else controlling you? The truth is, your brain has been hijacked. You're not just distracted, you're being trained to be distracted. And the culprit? Dopamine, the chemical responsible for pleasure and motivation. How dopamine is ruining your focus. Dopamine is often called the feel-good chemical, but that's not entirely true. It's not about pleasure, it's about wanting. Every time you anticipate something enjoyable, whether it's checking your phone, eating junk food, or winning a game, dopamine spikes. It pushes you to chase rewards, but here's where things go wrong. In today's world, rewards are too easy to get. Think about it. Before the internet, you had to put effort into entertainment. If you wanted to listen to music, you had to buy a CD or wait for your favorite song on the radio. If you wanted to watch a movie, you had to go to a cinema. But today, everything is instant. Music, videos, entertainment, food, it's all available with a single tap. And with every tap, you're training your brain to crave more, expect more, and work less for it. This is where your focus starts to collapse. Your brain gets used to these high-frequency dopamine spikes, quick, effortless rewards. But when you try to focus on something that doesn't give instant pleasure, like studying, working, or reading, it feels boring. It feels difficult. Your brain resists because it has been rewired to crave instant gratification. And this is exactly what social media companies, app developers, and entertainment platforms want. They don't make money when you focus. They make money when you scroll. The science of dopamine addiction. Your brain wasn't designed for this level of constant stimulation. In a normal, healthy brain, dopamine is released in cycles. You feel motivated to work on something, you put in the effort, and you get a reward after completing the task. But today's technology has hacked this process. Instead of working hard and then feeling rewarded, you can skip the effort and jump straight to the pleasure. Scroll on social media? Dopamine. Open a notification? Dopamine. Watch a new video? Dopamine. These quick hits feel good in the moment, but they come at a cost. Your brain becomes desensitized. When your dopamine receptors are overstimulated, they start to weaken. This means that activities that once felt exciting, reading a book, working on a skill, exercising, now feel dull. You struggle to focus for long periods. You get restless, you crave more stimulation, and the cycle continues. The hidden strategies, keeping you hooked. This isn't just a side effect of technology, it's the goal. The more distracted you are, the more money companies make. Every major platform is designed to keep you addicted. Infinite scrolling. Ever notice how there's no end to social media feeds? You never get a chance to pause and reflect because the next post, video, or tweet is always right there. Autoplay and recommendations. You don't have to choose what to watch next. YouTube and Netflix do it for you, keeping you in a loop of endless content. Notifications. Apps don't just show you updates, they create urgency. Red badges, vibration alerts, pop-ups, all designed to hijack your attention. Variable rewards. Social media works like a slot machine. Sometimes you get likes, comments, or messages. Sometimes you don't. This randomness keeps you hooked, always checking for that next reward. Tech companies understand dopamine better than most neuroscientists. They know exactly how to keep you addicted, because your attention is their product. The more they keep you engaged, the more ads they can show, and the more money they make. The cost of dopamine overload. Let's be honest, this isn't just about distraction. The effects of dopamine addiction go deeper than you think. Shortened attention span. Your brain struggles to focus on deep work. You jump from one task to another, never truly making progress. Increased anxiety and stress. Constant stimulation means your brain never gets a break. Over time, this can lead to burnout, stress, and even depression. Loss of motivation. Why work hard for long-term rewards when quick dopamine hits are just a click away? This leads to procrastination and lack of ambition. Weakened willpower. Every time you give in to instant gratification, your ability to resist temptation weakens. This makes it harder to develop good habits and break bad ones. Diminished creativity. Creativity thrives in boredom, but when your brain is always stimulated, you never allow yourself the mental space to think deeply or come up with new ideas. In short, dopamine addiction is stealing your potential. And the worst part? Most people don't even realize it's happening. How to escape the dopamine trap? Here's the good news. You can take back control. The first step is awareness, understanding how your brain is being manipulated. The second step, rewiring your brain for focus. Dopamine. Detox. Take a break from high dopamine activities. This means reducing social media, binge watching, and unnecessary notifications. Give your brain time to reset. Delay gratification. Train yourself to earn rewards instead of consuming them instantly. For example, only allow yourself to watch a video after completing an important task. Single tasking. Multitasking destroys focus. Train yourself to work on one thing at a time, without jumping to another task every few minutes. Mindful consumption. Be intentional about what you consume. Instead of mindlessly scrolling, ask yourself, is this helping me, or is this just stealing my time? Boredom practice. Allow yourself to be bored. This might sound strange, but boredom helps reset your dopamine levels and improves your ability to focus. Deep work sessions. Set a timer and work in distraction-free blocks of time. Start with 25 minutes and gradually increase as your focus improves. Physical activity. Exercise helps regulate dopamine naturally, reducing the need for artificial stimulation. These steps aren't easy, but they're necessary. If you don't take control of your dopamine, someone else will. And if you let them, they'll keep you hooked forever. What's next? Now that you understand why your focus is broken and how dopamine addiction works, the next step is to take action. In the final part of this video, we'll explore real-life strategies to rewire your brain, rebuild your attention span, and escape the modern world's biggest distraction trap. Because here's the truth. If you don't break free from this cycle, you'll wake up one day realizing that years have passed and you've accomplished nothing. Don't let that happen. So, now you know the truth. Your brain has been hijacked. Every time you scroll, every time you check notifications, every time you fall into the endless loop of quick dopamine hits, you're reinforcing a habit that's killing your ability to focus. And the worst part? This isn't happening by accident. It's a carefully designed system, created to keep you addicted, to keep you distracted, to keep you from reaching your true potential. But now you have a choice. You can either keep living the way you are, jumping from one dopamine hit to another, constantly distracted, unable to focus on anything for more than a few minutes. Or you can take control. Because here's the thing, dopamine isn't the enemy. Your lack of control over it is. If you learn to manage it, You can turn dopamine into your greatest weapon instead of your biggest weakness. How to rewire your brain and rebuild your focus. The first step is awareness. Now that you understand how dopamine is controlling you, you need to start recognizing the patterns. The next time you reach for your phone without thinking, stop. Ask yourself, do I really need to check this, or am I just looking for a quick dopamine hit? Breaking the cycle starts with noticing when you're caught in it. The second step is detox. Just like a drug addict needs to go through withdrawal, your brain needs time to reset. This means cutting back on high dopamine activities, especially social media, short-form content, and unnecessary notifications. Try a dopamine detox for a day, then a week. At first, you'll feel restless, even bored. But that's a good sign. It means your brain is healing. The third step is replacing cheap dopamine with real rewards. Instead of getting instant gratification from scrolling, train your brain to crave earned rewards. Work on a skill, read a book, exercise, meditate. Do things that require effort, but give you long-term satisfaction. This is the secret to true motivation. The more you train your brain to seek deep, meaningful rewards, the less you'll crave shallow, empty stimulation. The fourth step is rebuilding your focus. Start with short, deep work sessions. Set a timer for 25 minutes. Work without distractions. Then take a short break. Slowly increase the time. Over weeks and months, your attention span will grow. And soon, focusing for hours on end won't feel impossible. It'll feel natural. The real reason you need to do this. This isn't just about getting rid of distractions. It's about taking back your life. Every moment you waste on mindless scrolling is a moment you'll never get back. And if you keep going down this path, one day you'll wake up and realize that years have passed and you've achieved nothing. But that doesn't have to be your future. You can break free. You can take control of your focus, your habits, your mind. And once you do, you'll have something most people never will. True freedom. Now, it's your turn. If this video opened your eyes, don't just click away and go back to scrolling. Take action. Start small. Delete one distracting app. Set a timer for deep work. Try a dopamine detox for a day. Do something that your future self will thank you for. And if you want to understand more about how social media is manipulating your brain, check out my video, How Social Media Controls Your Life. It'll show you exactly how these platforms are designed to keep you addicted and how you can break free. If you found this video helpful, hit the like button, subscribe for more content like this, and drop a comment below. What's your biggest struggle with focus? Let's start a conversation, because the more we understand this, the more power we have to take our minds back. This is your wake-up call. Don't ignore it. The choice is yours.